Welcome to episode 4 of the Prostreet Talk Podcast with the NOTSORY Foxbody owner, Jamie Prodigy.
G'day,
Welcome.
mate. Thank you.
We've got me, myself, and Amph here as well, joining us.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, mate. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for, trekking down to Queensland. I know...
I brought the weather down with me too, mate.
Yeah, you were saying, like, you got off the plane, it's like, man, this weather's mint. Like, it's... 7 o'clock now, and it's like sun's still out, not a cloud in the sky, it's not windy.
That trips me out, man.
It's very not Melbourne weather. So it's like usually we take the Melbourne weather with us, you took the weather with you,
100%.
thankfully to here. So
just lost the humidity.
It'll be raining in 10 minutes.
Brother, don't say that. Because it will.
Yeah, it actually does.
Melbourne, it's typical for that.
Yep.
But what's the go? How come you're in Melbourne? I'm sure you wouldn't just be down here for Prostreet Talk. So,
mate, I made a special trip just to come down to see you boys. So
Cost us a fortune.
It cost us a fortune.
I'm pretty sure the deal was a Hemi Pro line, was it?
Don't go there at the moment with the amount of them that's getting stolen.
Ricker or something.
Yeah, good. Nah, so come down for, speaking of Ricker, he's with the Tough Streeters deal. So they're putting a car show on tomorrow.
Yep, Tough Streeters Fest is on tomorrow. Well, as we're recording, it's on tomorrow. They're already setting up now. There's Call the Park Friday Night Drags on right now, and they're also still setting up, getting everything prepped for the event. So I was full-time with Tough Streeters. Now I just do subby work for them now, but I'm still very heavily involved with making content that they post.
Man,
so
they're killing it, eh?
They're smashing it, man. The growth, even over the last 12 to 24 months, it's been rapid. Like even Amph being one of the winners. Like I've known Amph for years now. Like from when I first started doing the photography and meet stuff, I was 16 and I knew of Amph. When his vow was actually on the road. And
is that a sore spot or? Nah.
I'm over it now. I'm over it.
He just jokes about it.
I feel like everyone has that moment where the old car's off the road, then it's like 2 years passes and you're like, fuck, I better get that on the road.
2 years?
Or has it been longer?
It's been 4 years.
Oh, brother, time to get that thing cracking.
I wish it was 2 years,
They
but...
blow out quickly, but...
Yeah, it does. Look, and honestly, I've come to the point where I've kind of lost interest, but hopefully it's not too far.
Well, you're itching for it now. Now that you got the Patrol, you just want a road car again, yeah?
Yeah, especially, obviously sold the GTR as well, so...
It makes you miss it. It does.
It does.
I feel like, especially if you don't get to drive one every day, you start to go, oh man, that'd be tough.
Well, I daily a Camry now.
Yeah. Oh, sick. Well, so does half the neighbourhood, right?
Oh, God.
Yeah, great car, great family car. That's all I'm saying.
And I fit in, like I said.
Yeah, 100%, great car.
But yeah, it's like you used to have an LS1 Calais, yeah? So it's like you kind of like, I drive an LS everywhere, like Cairns. Like you don't no need to have another car, but then you sold it, obviously had a bit of a empty spot, but then, you got the GTR, and now you got that empty patch again because your VL's not done.
Correct,
so it's like you itch for it, yeah? Like my car was off the road for 3 months and I was scratching for something, yeah? So...
That's a car person inside you,
I think it was a little bit more. Like when I blew my converter, I just left the car in the nature strip phase. I didn't want to touch it. I was just saving money. Like I wanted to put money aside, and I had other shit going on. So I was like, slowly saved, got the box done, converter, like all that done at the same time. So it's just like that's cars for you, yeah. But
well, let's talk on builds. Let's start with you. Where did you even start? What was your first build?
My first car or my first build I did was a Mitsubishi Cordia 4G63 I had back in the day.
I wouldn't even know what one of them are.
So
we'll put an image up.
Yeah, we'll put an image up.
I
don't have any photos because I went back looking when I was starting to do some of these up in home.
Yeah, and so actually, quickly, we'll touch on that now. What's your podcast that you do yourself?
So I do a series. I do a series on YouTube called In the Sheds. So basically, it's just I want to bring another light to the drag race and the car scene up there of the people that.
But you've done already all around Australia with this stuff.
I have done a fair few.
Canberra.
Yeah.
I think you've done Sydney.
Yeah, I have down in Melbourne. I'll hopefully do 1 or 2 tomorrow if it all works out. But I then want to go over to Perth. I've got a couple locked in over there. But it's just a matter of finding the time. So
exactly.
This is race season now.
Well, that's like even us. Like we've left this as a side gig. We said, look, if we can push one out a month, that's enough for us. Yeah. Like, dude, we've put up 2 podcasts technically, and we've got almost 1,100 followers on Instagram, and that is more than we expected. Like right off the bat, our first episode got almost 2K views.
Yeah, that's mad. And people obviously want to see it.
Yeah, exactly right. And same sort of thing with you. Like we want to engage the car scene, and like you call it, it's like shed talk. Like
100%.
literally, like it's as if you're involved in the conversation, kicking back with mates. You feel involved listening to this stuff.
And people got good stories, so people need to hear them. So
that's it. And you get interesting guests. Like you're our first interstate guest, so it's an honour to have you on. You've got a pleasure. massive following. You've got some sick stories, and you're the type of bloke we could yarn on for like 2 hours and not even realise.
Well, we had a 40-minute conversation that was only meant to be a brief one the other day.
Yeah, it was like, I'll quickly call you for 5 minutes, turned into 45 minutes, and you drove from wherever you were in Queensland to your mum's joint. So.
Yep.
So
back on the build.
In the roundabout way, so it was a 4G63. I bought it with a...
So that's an Evo motor.
It is an Evo motor, yeah, correct. So it wasn't running. Worst mistake of my life. I was 16. I was earning fuck all. I was like second year apprentice. So as you do, you earn nothing.
And what were you doing for yourself back then?
Back then, I was an apprentice car painter.
Yep.
So that's where I started. And I just always liked tinkering around on cars.
And you were raised with cars your whole life?
Not really, man. Like my old boy wasn't really a car nut or anything like that, but I grew up in a suburb, which I don't know what the equivalent down here would be, but everyone had tough cars. Like tough Tiranas.
The West is usually like cracker cars,
Yeah, I think just the West in general. Yeah. Like if we had to go for a drive now, like say there's an area called Caroline Springs, a lot of the viewers will be familiar of Caroline Springs.
They've got a big gym out there as well, eh?
Yeah, well, not that I would know about the gym, but
it's mostly filled with P-platers now in Caroline Springs.
Yeah, but a few tough cars come down.
Yeah, you've got you'll have like 5 P-platers and then have like a nice VL, and then you'll have like a VK, and then you have a couple more P-platers, and it's like a mixed bag. Like I was just in Bacchus Marsh before at Marsh Performance Centre, just cruising in, like we're in an XB. There was a Silverado pulling like 2 nice classics on the back of like a dual trailer. This thing's pulling it.
How good.
Then we see like an Oldsmobile cruising, like different shit. And I'm like, I've seen this in 5 minutes. Like it's a cracker day. I don't blame them for taking the cars out.
And that's the thing. I guess when the weather is good, they want to get them out for a run.
Yeah, and it's like I don't know if it's like this in Queensland, but you'll put like a cracking event on for like a Thursday night, and like last minute notice, the weather's good, and you'll have 100 cars turn up on a Thursday night.
Brother, we have good weather all the time. It doesn't matter.
It must be a problem. Good weather, get the cars out.
Get the cars out straight away.
We're spoiled. We've got so many cool car events. We've got so many people doing car meets. Like there's almost something every weekend, guaranteed.
What's the diner underneath the freeway?
Joe's. Yeah, so Steve,
love to go
man,
there.
he puts on a really good show, and he's a gentleman. So if he's watching this, man, Joe or Steve, Joe's Diner, man, he's an absolute legend.
And how are the cops there at those meets?
Oh, look, they invite him in, which is a good thing, to get him on side. And look, some people like to spiritually, is that the right word? They like to leave, you know what I mean? Yeah. So obviously some of those might get picked on, but generally the cops will leave you alone. If you're an absolute fruit, they'll pick on you. So time and place.
Wish we had that issue down here.
Look, it really depends what highway patrol you're dealing with. Like, I've come across a highway patrol officer. He's come to a couple of my meets before, and he's actually pointed me out just randomly. I was on a walk and he pointed me out. And we started chit-chatting. He's like, I got a Chevelle, I got a HQ, I got a GT Mustang I drive every day. And he's like, he's a pure enthusiast. Like, my HQ was my first car. I've been building the Chevelle. It's got like this motor in there, whatever. I'm like, he's probably listening to this podcast and knows exactly who he is. But
we'll say g'day to him.
I was like, g'day. But he's from Brimbank Highway Patrol, and he's always at my meets. Even he said to me, like, the first time I probably had a sit-down chat with him, he was like, oh, how'd you go with the cars and coffee? I'm spilling, I couldn't make it. I was like, he's like, dude, if I could have made it, I would have gone there in or out of uniform. If I'm there in uniform, it just means I'm paid to be there. So
I think the best thing with them is you've got to work with them. They've got to be prepared to work with you. You know what I mean? If they're flobs and they treat you like shit, you're going to get it back.
Yeah, but that's what I was about to say. It's that first initiation when you get pulled over.
Totally.
You probably wouldn't have to sit down and say, oh, what's the problem, officer? Like, what do you expect? Yeah?
Talk to me like a human being and I'll give you the respect.
Just because they're in uniform. Meet someone for the first time, it's first impressions matter.
Yeah, 100%.
If you're going to be a cocksucker, they're going to be a cocksucker back.
Yeah.
Or like you'll be the nicest person in the world and they're a cocksucker, that's just how they are.
Yeah. And some of them are like that.
Yeah,
not all of them. Not all. Just the ones that pull me over.
Yeah, just the ones that pull you over.
No.
So were you about to say, was there a bit of competition in the area you used to grow up in with people having tough cars and stuff like that?
I don't know if it was competition, just everyone, it was the thing, you know what I mean? Blown Tiranas, big V8s, then the VL started to come around. And as a kid, like I lived on a street and man, it was badass. Where it was, I actually ended up having to put a roundabout in there because there was a stop sign and I was at the top of the street. And bro, people would line up side by side and they'd race that street. So as a kid, so it'd be dig racing, man. That's, like, to me, that's badass. So I grew up like seeing that shit.
So this is what's fueled the fire.
Yeah, 100%. And I was that kid on a push bike, man. I don't know how it is down here, but I'd ride my push bike, I'd see a toughie come up at the set of lights.
And tell them the door burn out.
Brother.
But I was the same as a kid, man. Go mountain bike riding with the boys, see like a van, like go get on it, go on.
And then now I'm that guy. Like if a kid did it to me, man, I'm getting off the trans brake
wherever. How old are you now, if you don't mind asking?
I'm 37.
So
37.
you're a long way now from your push bike days. So.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably still rides, being a fitness fanatic.
Yeah, do it for his fitness fanatic. So Jamie's a personal trainer. So you're actually pretty crazy about that.
I love it, but I hate doing pointless cardio. Going for a ride just doesn't interest me, you know what I mean?
Yeah, cardio in general doesn't interest me either.
You'd rather sweat your balls off in a race car that's
all day,
aircon.
All
that's
day,
your cardio,
all
mate.
day, brother, all day.
Before we get back to your builds and stuff like that, obviously we touched on it before that you own the Fox Body Mustang.
Yep.
Just quickly, we'll dive into it later on.
Yep.
What's the quickest PB you've gone in that?
So the fastest time I've gone in it for the quarter mile is I've gone a 7.0, and that was just with the old combo, so LS twin turbo. So 7.0 200 at Midnight Mayhem a couple of years ago. And then we pulled the car apart and basically...
So that was at Western Sydney?
Correct.
So remember that conversation we talked about with Ertano about how the decline on the track, so technically it should be a 7.1, not a 7.0.
So you went 7.0 at Sydney?
7.0, 200 mile an hour.
Alright, so we'll call it a 7.1.
Well, I was chasing a 6, bro. That's all I wanted out of the car. That was my goal. And we'd been going, it was so stinking hot that whole day, and we went... The track was fast. It come around as soon as the air dropped off and the track cooled down, and we had one Hail Mary pass, and that was it.
7.0. Now, because I don't know if you know that the track's...
Oh, yeah, I'm well aware, yeah.
But as long as we're all on the same page.
It's still an international standard track, so for them, the level must be that minute that they don't really...
I said it in the last podcast. I'm pretty sure it's 1 metre from start line to finish line, fall. So... Well, what I was getting at then...
a lot more when you're at the top of the track.
100%.
What I was getting at then, obviously your fitness would help you piloting something like that.
Sure. Well, it's funny you mention that because I'm big on data and look at stuff like that. So one of the first times I did a 3-day event, I heart rate monitor, I had my watch and my Garmin on, and I just checked my heart rate and all that type of stuff. And literally, I had done no exercise the whole day, and I burned something like 9,000 calories. And just sitting in the car, my heart rate got to 186 beats a minute.
So there you go. On that as well, obviously piloting a car like that, you need your Android license.
100%.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
And you need to go. People may not know that they actually you got to do a physical.
Yeah,
you can't just walk in there.
I think it's a process, and I think I touched on this with. I think Monique Ambrosi was talking to me about it, and she was like, to get your licensing, because she had her licensing done recently, that's how we were talking about. We're just talking about drag racing stuff. And it's like, you got to do like a test burnout, like a roll out of the beams, then test 60 foot.
Yeah, correct.
So you got to get half track.
Yeah, you got to get signed off to get your license, and you got to show all those things, pulling the chute, all that type of stuff.
So wind it back.
It'll be a shame about physical training.
Physical's an easy one for me, man. It was basically sign a couple of things. Yep, okay, you got to do I think it was a lung function test. One of the things that bugged me out is I've never done an eyesight test before.
Okay.
So the guy's like, yep, okay, close your eye, do this, read, and then open your eyes. And I got a fair way of the way down, and I was like, oh man, fuck, it's a bit blurry. I was like, I'm struggling here. And then I was like, fuck, in my head I was like, have I failed? And then he's like, no, you're all good, man. You got way past where you should have. I'm like, okay, sweet. I was like, just out of curiosity, like, where do people normally get? And he didn't tell me, but I was panicking for a bit because I thought my eyesight was shit. As you do.
No, that's it.
Well,
but every 2 years you got to resit that test, and it's blood pressure. So a lot of these,
a health check.
It is basically, But I think for the older the people get, obviously the people that are overweight, I think it's riskier for them.
Well, that's like even like you got your all the door slammer drag racers that have been like doing this shit for years. Yeah, so it's like you never know when you're around the corner from like a stroke. or something.
No disrespect to some of these guys because obviously they're really good at it. I've said this so many times. So you look at some of these blokes. Fair enough. Like I can't talk. I'm really new to the drag racing thing.
Look at Zapier.
They're 50, 60 kilos overweight. Yada yada yada. And I've tried to put a thing together like maybe. Instead of wasting $30,000 or $40,000 on carbon fibre parts and trying to turn your engine up and throw rods out, why don't you just go to the fucking gym and eat better? Save yourself the money. You know what I mean?
It's not something to laugh at because that's what happened with Rob Marjan Rob Marjan with Jordan.
Yep.
He lost all that weight.
Well, it's funny you say that. I saw him at Sydney last time I was down there, man. He's looking in fucking great shape.
Yeah, I heard because the chassis was maxed out on that thing. We all know that.
Yeah, right.
And they were just trying to get every little bit out the car and they come back down to the driver.
Interesting.
So... Yeah.
There you go. That's something I didn't even think about. Yeah. Well, it's like
3,000 horsepower.
Yeah. Well, even speaking about
and a couple kilo would make a difference. Yeah.
Older people in the drag racing scene, like even like Zapier, like I think he's in pretty good shape and stuff like that. He's been around for ages. I've sat in his car. Like, he was probably like my favourite top door slammer growing up as a kid. Like,
is he still driving, or is his son driving now?
I think it's his son.
Is it his son or his nephew? I'm not too sure who it is.
It's someone with a Zapier name.
It's Matthew or something, isn't it?
He's driving the OG one.
Sure.
So I think it was at Motorplex a while ago.
Yes.
They did a race against each other.
I did see that.
But like, this bloke, I don't even know how old he's pushing now, but he grew up street racing his LH Tirana. I remember reading the stories and stuff like that. And he's got grey hair and he's running 5s down the quarter.
100%.
Like, dude.
There's no better rush than letting go of that button, or in their case, like slipping the clutch and letting it eat.
Yeah, that's it. Well, that's even like, who was it? John Force. He's an older bloke, the Nitro. Obviously, I don't think he does it anymore, but his kids do it still, so.
So, do you classify a slipper clutch as a manual?
Oh, bro, I'm not getting into that argument.
No,
bro.
well,
Yeah, I don't know enough about those Nitro funny car deals and what they're doing, but to me, you're still letting go of a button. You're going, I don't know, bro. I'm just a PT. I'll just get him let go of the button.
Now he's a PT. Does a 7, but now he's just a PT.
But it should be a 6, but we're shooting for a 3, bro. That's what I want to do in the 8th mile. That's my goal.
So what's your 8? So we've talked about personal best in the quarter.
Yep.
What 60 foot did you do in that one?
I think that was only a 120 then. I'm not sure off the top of my head.
Only.
Well, I mean, look, it's funny you say that, but like where I should be or where I want the car to be should be 1.0s. You know what I mean?
Wow.
The first time I did a 1.5, I thought my face went full autistic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you do a 1.4 and you're like.
Speaking of that, it was like the first time I ever went drag racing was 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Yep.
I took my car. It's making like just over 400 kilowatts at Falcon, so it's decently heavy, And it's like, I was just getting used to the car, first time around racing, and like Dad's helping me out. I mucked up the tyre pressures. That was my fault. Like we accidentally dropped them a little too much, but you know what? It's learning. Ended up breaking the tail shaft that night anyway. Got a JZ Drivelines one. Shout out to JZ Drivelines in Somerton, previously known as GJ Drivelines, if no one knew. But GJ, well-known name across Australia.
Yep.
Now called JZ Drivelines. So still the same old boys, Joel and Zach there, but just a different name, a little bit different colour scheme, but still the same quality of work. So they hooked me up with a killer tail shaft, high rated, I think 1600 horsepower rated, yoke upgrade, whatever. So ready to send next time we're at the track.
Yep.
But I was like,
how's that for a plug?
That's a good plug. Yeah.
Man,
I want to buy one.
Bro, they look after. Oh, look, if you need carbon tail shaft, you need just a one for your G6E turbo.
I've actually got one in the VL as well. So.
There you go.
There you go.
GJ, JZ, they've been known for ages. They're in pro mods, trucks, street cars. They're everywhere.
Yep.
Across Australia too, not just Melbourne. So that just proves the point right there. There's proof in the pudding. But yeah, first time out, like best I ever did was a 12.0, but I did 122, 123 mile an hour.
Yep.
And
what,
then
60 foot?
It was shit. It was 2.1.
Wow.
But then the next pass after that, I actually launched it properly without breaking the tail shaft. And then it did a 1.7 60 foot.
And the difference, how did it feel?
Oh, dude, but then I pedalled the tyre after because the pressures were too low. And that's when we figured out the issue.
But that first 60 foot hit.
Oh, dude, I was like, I noticed it straight away. It pedalled the tyre and I had to like let off, and I got back in it and I was dicking and short shifted it. So, it's
all
the
part of
thrill
learning,
of racing for the first time.
I'm going to have to go back and look at those time slips on the patrol. I reckon I've done a 1.8 60 foot or something.
Yeah, well, even
it took off hard.
I was speaking to
done nothing
someone
after that.
In four-wheel drive or rear wheel?
Nah, four-wheel drive. That was in the Y62.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Man, they're pretty impressive, out of the block.
Yeah, so that went a 15 flat.
Yep.
I've got a photo of the time slips that we could probably whack up.
Yep.
Yeah,
so you can have a look. Were you still talking about your drag?
Well, I broke the tail shaft next pass when I tried to load it up more, so... But
come back next time stronger.
Come back out. So
yeah, that's the main thing.
I was speaking to someone, I was like, he's making 500s out of his FG and he's running like 9.6s, 9.5s at Heathcote. He was like, dude, if I can get like a 9.8, 9.9 out of Calder, I'm happy. Or like, I think his personal best he's done at Calder was 9.7, but he was trying to crack a 9 with a passenger.
Calder down here tends to be more of a slower track than our other track, Heathcote.
Yep. So I was going to ask that, like, what's a better track? So we've got the
paddock and then we've got the suburbs.
Okay.
Yeah. So Calder's literally 20 minutes away from where we live now.
Yep.
Where I live, which we're in, I probably shouldn't say exactly where I live.
We're not far from Caroline Springs.
Let's just say not far from Caroline Springs.
Yep.
Heathcote is, a 2 hour drive, an hour and a half, 2 hour drive.
What's a better track though, like facility-wise?
Facility, Heathcote, full stop.
Yep.
So,
look, Calder, and we touched on this with Vertano, you can't just be going to Calder on a Friday night drags, watching some cars race and having a hot jam donut in the stands. It's the nostalgia behind it. And like, look, there's still good cars that go out and run. It's just not like what it used to be.
And put it this way, you wouldn't put your car down at Calder. I can tell you for now. There's a, like, it goes from concrete to asphalt.
And there's a big drop off.
There's a lip,
Yeah, I have heard that for the drag challenge. I think there's a whole bunch of boys that spoke about that big drop.
They just didn't get the track around in time. They were actually working on it to get it done for drag challenges and just push come to shove. They didn't get it done, but they usually can't prep the track the whole way because of the ASA circuit racing, the double ASA circuit racing, which is shit because it's like if they have to prep the track, like say for example,
but safety's first, man. If you're putting power down,
the problem is the runoff.
Okay.
So Heathcote's got a 400-meter runoff. Off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's actually got
still full quarter.
Yeah, so full quarter at Heathcote. So you're 400 metre from start to finish line, and then the runoff area from finish line to say the bend is another 400 metres. I believe that is the longest runoff on any track in Australia.
Yeah, right.
Really?
Yes.
Sydney's pretty long, hey?
I might be wrong. But I'm pretty sure we'll have to look it up.
I walked that whole strip.
So I've done that as well.
But you meant to drive it, eh?
Yeah, you meant to drive it. No, we were waiting for the cars to go out testing. I was like, we'll go for a walk. We'll walk the whole track.
Yeah, of course.
I walked all the way up, walked back down and returned around.
Well, Willowbank's uphill, you know?
Yes.
And then the breaking's downhill, which makes no sense. But, I mean, you run numbers.
Well, obviously you've raced the Willowbank.
I have. It's home track.
How'd you go there?
Yeah, we've had some good luck. We've had some bad luck. I had a terrible experience at Jambo where the car just was beating me up for 3 days and I was ready to burn. I had my bonnet fly off at 200 mile an hour. That was an experience. I've had it all happen, man. And then recently we did Kenda there and the car just every pass we did, new PB. We just kept getting quicker and quicker. Ended up making the final. And then lost the final to Jeff Campbell-Brown in his Nova. So same cube engine, just twin turbos, and the thing was making a bunch load more steam.
So you're single turbo?
I'm Pro Charles, Vortec, crank-driven blower. 130 mil blower off the front of it.
Can we touch on that?
So you said you were twin turbo LS before?
Beforehand, yeah.
Okay.
The biggest waste of time, I'll chuck that out, that engine.
We might as well just deep dive in the Mustang now and we'll get back to everything else.
Mustang, what's going?
Tell us about it. Where did it start? So did you import it?
So during the times that all you guys know, obviously when the world got locked down, I was looking at another car. I had the VE, which we built to go, I want to start running low sevens in that. Built an LS engine for that and then had to sell their VE, so I just started looking around. I've always fell in love with Fox bodies, like for years. The old Beta Bomb, I was like, I frothed that. So I was tossing
Even like early Street L, I was watching like Chuck.
I'm not so much a fan of that. Like I like Chuck's.
I like it, but
I'm not a fan of that style Fox body.
Yeah,
so
not the hatch style.
Yeah, the hatch. I like the notch.
See, I wouldn't know like which one to go with. Like I'd be happy.
They're both cool. Out of the box, triangulated rear end. Like it's a great factory race car.
I just want to kill a Fox body that's black with RC comps. That's all I want.
Amen. So I was looking at that or a G body. I frothed them, man. There was one over in America.
Like a Cutlass or something.
Yeah, just there's one in particular. It's called
Malibu.
Yeah, Malibu. Yeah.
You got there's the blue one that does all the Kenda stuff. From the States.
I can't remember his name.
I know
that's fast. So Mark Mickey's old car.
Yeah,
proven deal. I think it's gone to 370 or 380 over in America. Yeah. But yeah, so ended up buying that. I saw one of the boys from down here had a couple for sale. So Harley Hamilton. Anyway, it was a bit of a shit show because we couldn't travel down here at the time. So it was like a mess. And I was like, man, look, I'm keen to buy the car. And he's like, chuck a deposit down. I'm like, look, I need to see the car first. Anyway, I was like, mate, as soon as I can get on a plane, I'm coming down. Anyway, couldn't get a plane. So I'm like, fuck it, I might have to drive. Like, do the drive. Anyway, they opened it up, jumped on the plane, come down, saw it. And then I saw his other two that he had sitting there. So he had the race one, and then he had like the daily at the time. And I was like, well, I don't even want to look at the orange one. I want to look at the race car, and that was Hemi Proline DL twin turbo.
What colour was it originally? It was
originally orange, so House of Colour Tangelo, I think it was.
Yep.
So basically bought that. It had a LQ9 Pro Mod 88 on it, or 98 on it. It was just a junkyard thing from America.
Yep.
The guy that actually built it over there, he ended up tracking me down on Instagram and started having a conversation saying, hey man, here's some photos, I built this car. So ran it up at Queensland Roll Racing. As soon as I got the car back, did a service, took it out to Roll Racing, just having no seat time.
Well, at Queensland Raceway?
Yeah.
Full send.
Full send straight away, yeah. So I was like, this thing's not too bad.
What power figures are we talking about?
Man, it was making over 1100.
Yeah.
So it went 180 mile an hour.
We're talking horse or kilowatt?
That's horsepower.
Yeah.
So
we're talking about American cars, so that would make sense.
Yeah, and then basically went out to Roll Racing, just tried to get some seat time in the car because the plan was always to cut it up and start again. And then it did quite well. We made the final against Mr. 35 and lost by probably half a car, maybe three quarters of a car.
Is that Karim?
So Shawnee.
Okay.
So basically the same one as Imram's. So built by Precision, made a ton of power, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, so then we cut the car to pieces and started again.
Okay, so it wasn't always like how it was now. So you actually cut it up to
pieces. Brother, everything. Cut.
So the tube front.
Everything cut off.
Was it left-hand drive?
100%. Yep, still left-hand drive.
And what's the background story behind that? Is there a reason why you guys live in left-hand drive?
It's an American car, brother.
It's just because American car.
If I got a Fox Body, I'd keep the left-hand drive.
I heard it had something to do with
a lot of people can do the conversions. Like, I don't mind, man. Like a few times you go to get in the wrong side, but
we had a fastback at Touch Street. I've done it once or twice. I was like, shit, wrong side. I don't know. It's
just one of those things. But when you get in it and drive it, man, it becomes normal. Because I'm not driving on the street, you don't lose that. Oh shit, I'm on the wrong side.
It's just weird when you're like doing like your normal stuff, like reversing.
Yeah. Well, I don't do any of that, bro. You know what I mean?
Well, obviously, because it's not like really a straight car, but touching on that,
it used to be
game plan.
How do you go going down the quarter mile and say something like that being left-hand drive? Like obviously we're used to doing that.
Brother, all I do is I let go of that button, I hold on for dear life and try to keep my eyes open.
That's all air shift and all that?
Yeah. Where's your chute lever?
Let me think about it. No, right there. Yeah.
I know, that's still a weird part. Like doing that. Like,
but you get used to it, bro. It's like once you do it a few times.
If you had a hard training session the day before and you get a cramp, like,
brother, you're pulling that chute no matter what, bro. You got no arms, you'll find a way to pull that chute.
Turbo 400?
Turbo 400, Pro mod style. So 2-to-1.
Yep.
So it's got all the fruit in it, man. So it's built to go fast. So
so you won the roll racing event?
No, I got second. Just well. It was a current easy, probably 3/4 to.
Was it clean when you were doing the roll racing, or you were pedaling it, having a bit of fun?
I've got a video. I'll show you. Like I was working, but the car was going pretty straight. I just had no brakes.
Maybe we can get it up, the video.
I'll add it in with no audio, but like you can probably watch it right now.
I'll send it off to you.
So you got the hook onto that, then went to the chop shop.
Yeah, basically straight down to the boys. Straight down to Spot On, and the boys up there, man, they build a killer race car. So I just said,
man, I've seen a lot of their work. Like even when I've gone up to Sydney for like the drags and stuff, you see just their name everywhere.
But they're family, you know what I mean? Like they're diehard racers. They get it, they understand it. They're always at the track. You got a question? All right, sweet. He's got a Fox Body as well. One of the boys. We actually bought it at the same time, so it's like. Now we sort of have a bit of a riz if we're in the lanes against each other. It's like, all right, man, I'm going to fucking smoke you, this and that. Yeah, it's good fun. So.
What colour's that Fox?
He's got a black one, but it's like it's got colour in it. So you look at it bit of light and it's like a red sort of marble. He hits it and it looks killer.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So that had the precision on it, you said?
Yeah.
LQ9 precision.
Yeah, junkyard LS. It was cool.
Yep.
Had a
Slapper street racer shit.
Yeah. Legit.
So rip that out?
Ripped that out. I sold that with my VE at the time as a roller.
Yep.
Obviously that...
so you sold your VE as a roller?
Yeah, so everything out of the car, and I said, here's the engine out of my Fox Body, and the gearbox and all the harness and stuff like that. So I had a Holly Dominator, I think it was, like the big one.
Yep.
All the screen, all the usual shit. I said, look, here, take that.
And so what was the running gear at the time with the V? That was a 427, you said, yeah?
Yeah, it was. So we just had one freshly built that we put in the LS, in the Fox Body.
Yep.
But pulled that out, obviously try to go faster, blah, 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 blah. So that was, no gearbox, had Power Glide.
Yep.
And that was about it.
And then you've built the current motor that you've got in it now?
Yeah, so obviously I had a bit of luck with the LS, but it just kept smashing itself to pieces.
Yep.
So I won't go into that too much story. That's a bit of a touchy one. It's finally just all been ended, thank God. But a drama with a said shop up there. And then,
imagine the Queenslanders would understand.
People know. Anyone who knows, but the people that don't know,
Just leave it at that.
100%.
So.
And then you've built... What?
So this combo come up for sale, which was out of another Fox Body, funnily enough. So it'd gone 4.1s, 187 mile an hour, like back to back to back. And I'm like,
you Fox Body owners, all you Fox Body owners are basically sluts. You all just give each other shit.
I love it, bro. We love it. Like that's what we do out there. We just always give each other banter, man. Because it's like if we're all in the lanes, we're all doing PBs and having a good time. We're all eating, everyone's having a laugh. We're all going fast, man. It's mad.
Yeah,
we froth it, eh?
That's the best.
Yeah, we go out street racing, we go out anywhere, and like we're all just one big family.
You mean racing in Mexico?
It has to be in Mexico, yeah. On closed roads.
Only on closed roads.
Yes. With certain cars?
Only the best cars.
Well,
it depends who you ask.
I was about to ask specifically what car, but we won't go there.
There's been a few cars.
So what combo have you got?
A few Magners, a few 4G63s.
A few Camrys.
Ranger Raptors.
Might have to bring it down,
Let's go.
Tile it down. So the combo you got in at the moment, you said it's Pro Charge?
Yep. So 637 alley big block, 11 degree heads, alley rods, fuck, all the fruit.
Turbo 400, we said, Holly ECU?
Nah, Haltech. Brother, don't do me like that, brother.
Sorry?
Don't do me like that. Yeah, so Haltech Nexus, just want to put the new dash in it that we haven't yet.
Is that the IC10?
Yeah, UC10.
UC10.
Yeah.
IC10.
So,
IC7.
It's
close.
Same.
Yeah.
So that's what I want to do for this season, but...
And power figures, what do we look at?
A lot. Yeah, I mean, you dial it up and down, bro.
So is it actually sat on the dyno? And
we tested on the dyno. We did a few runs on it just to try and work it all out because obviously had to put some tune-ups in it. But, man, we can make anywhere. At lowest power figure, turn right down with the wastegate on it completely open, it's making like 1,500.
Yep.
So that's trying to slow it down as much as possible.
Yeah, nice.
So.
But, only page up.
Well, man, we got to get a truck to hold the power. That's our problem is because it was so aggressive off the tyre, trying to understand how a turbo comes on versus this, completely different. So we spent our first meeting kicking our tails.
Yeah.
So. Radial tyre?
275, baby.
275?
Yes, sir. Best category.
So technically,
Jamboree J275. That's
but I don't want to run it out the back yet. My goal is to get the 8th mile done, and then I'll run it out the back and get a number.
Might be coming up against CK, my engine builder.
Brother, that VL is tough, man.
Like it?
Yeah, bro, it's sick. I watched him down here last time. I was in Sydney, down here, but in Sydney, man, and he was killing it.
Yeah, he does well, Chris. Yep. He's recently moved factories. Now that's where my car is at the moment.
So it was him. He was down with Pazzo and all the boys when they were running.
Yep. Yeah, well, that holds the record at the moment.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was that night.
Oh, yeah, when it took the record out.
Yeah. I remember I was in Sydney when Jambo got rained out. So Jambo Sydney last year.
It always rains down there.
Yeah, man, it's shocking. And
it was purple car too, wasn't it?
Which
Your
one?
VL? It's purple?
No, brown one.
CK's is brown.
Yeah, okay.
Anthony Gregorio's one is another CK car, which has actually got CK's old setup in it when he originally went a 780.
But that's purple?
Yes, that's a purple one.
Calais. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking of.
Bloody CK's car is full chassis. It's a full chassis car.
Yeah.
I've actually stood under that car. That it's pretty much a VL still.
Yep, that's sick. I love it.
Besides the election windows, that's about it.
Yep.
And a little bit of shit here and
it's still a street car.
Perfect.
Apparently.
Yeah. Everything's a street car, in my opinion. I have this conversation all the day.
If you put normal wind-up windows back in it and put it on ethanol, you could probably drive 50 kilometres.
Yeah, but when you're filling up your car from your boot, that's not a street car.
Everything's a street car. If you've got the nuts to drive it on the street, that's a street car, man.
There's two attitudes you can have towards that. Not everything's a street car, or
everything.
If you've got the balls, it's a street
100%. But I used to drive my VE on the street, man, parachute, side piping, and fuck.
Well, tell us about the VE, because it's come up a couple of times.
Well, yeah, it was my people chariot, man. I used to love that. We'd just pile up 4 deep, and every night of the week we'd be going to Mexico and we used to just hammer that.
So sedan or wagon?
Sedan, yeah. VE.
Yeah.
So
there's a white VE sedan. Killer setup in the rear end.
Yeah, so I was making 1100.
Yeah, it ended up making more because we just kept going bigger and bigger and bigger. But yeah, so wanted to go faster, then put a spot-on rear end in it, and then it was fun because you just get 4 deep in it, and go 325 on the back, you'd hit the Mexican highway, and it'd just be no matter where, no matter who.
And then the Mexican police come knocking. Is that why?
Yeah, look,
was it maybe that power skid that you did going past the cop shop?
It might have had something to do with it. That was a dare. So, do we talk about it or not?
Yeah, okay. Say it.
We had this on our phone call, man. This was piss take.
If you're comfortable with it,
brother, it's done now. So basically, I love my burgers, man. So we're with the boys, and we've gone to this car meet down the Gold Coast. Left the car meet. There was a cop out the front, and the boys like, "Oh, do you do a bit of a skid here?" I was like, "All right, cool." So
cop shop.
No, this is a different one. So there was a few cop episodes. I'll tell you the full story.
We've got a whole TV.
So it was a leaving this car meet. There was a cop parked out the front in a van, and the boys were like, "Mate, give it a hit."
I-loads, yeah.
It was an I-load too. I've got the video of it. So anyway, up the street, second, third, just baked the tyre, peeled fat lines, cruising on the highway, tried to overtake a car. It was an unmarked car. So I was like, that was the warning sign. That was 2. I'm like, man, whatever. Had a burger, pulled out of the valley, and the boys were like, I dare to do a skid. And I was like,
another dare.
I was like, all right. So I was like, what do I get if I do this? And he's like, we'll give you free services on your car for the rest of your life. And I was like, really? I was like, done. I was like, mate, I'll do one right outside the cop shop right in. He's like, you fucking won't do it. So literally, bang, trans brake, let it eat, man. Just bushfired the whole street. I mean, peak hour traffic in the city.
Well, hang on, what time of the day?
Like 1 o'clock.
In the afternoon?
Yeah. Bro, busy. Like the middle of the CBD, brother. So I didn't know, but there was a decar behind me. So when the smoke cleared, all you could hear was sirens and shit like that. So I was like, oh.
So it was an undercover Camry, was it?
I can't even remember. It might have been Orion or something.
Yeah, Orion the Camry.
Yeah.
But I was like, you sent me the video. I'm like, dude, that's an Orion undercover.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
So
you wouldn't pick that in Melbourne. You'd think it's like an Uber or something.
Yeah, so they were bad up there, right? They doing those. So anyway, we got stuck in a bit of traffic, and then you had to turn and do this, and there's sets of lights everywhere, and just hear these sirens coming, and I was like, oh, fuck, just keep looking straight ahead. And sure enough, we had the red light, and then cars are going this way. And anyway, the Orions come buzzing up beside us, thinking that it's going to go through the lights. So we're like, yep, sweet, just look ahead, no smiling. Sure enough, he goes into the intersection a bit, looks across, and he's like, "Use, pull over." And I was like, "What for? What for?" He's like, "Mate, look at your windows." And sure enough, look back, and there's still smoke pumping out. And I was like, "I don't know what you're talking about, man." He's like, "We know, we saw, we got you on video." I was like, "Can you show us?" Anyway, so it just went back and forth. Anyway, so the car's on a trailer, they impound it and fucking.
Did they show you the video?
Yeah, brother, I went to court. I denied it.
Did you do the old Fast and Furious thing? Can I get a copy of that?
So I did, because I tried to fight it because I didn't think they had it. But this is what's even worse. In court, there was a room full of the court. I don't know what your local courtroom down here would be, but it was a bit of a shit show. There was one dude.
Sunshine Magistrate.
Yeah, so I was about to say.
So full of the rednecks and that, and this one guy had red shoes, not disrespecting red shoes, but they put the camera down the video screen, and they played it how do you play? And you can see all the angles from the CCTV video footage. It was a sick skid. And the guy's in the back who goes, "Fuck yeah!" And I was like,
shut up, man. You're not helping me out. So we can put that up.
I'll give you all the footage, bro. Yeah. So I actually got a less of a fine for the skid from the judge, but the cops hammered me, man.
Yeah.
So impounded the car, they fucked the car, they cut up all the seats, pulled the dash out, tore it to pieces. Yeah.
So when it was in the impoundment, they actually damaged it?
Yeah. So what they did is they put a search warrant in the car looking for dangerous drugs, saying marijuana. Well, I don't even smoke, but they just wanted to fuck with me. So they literally just cut the roof, pulled everything out, fucked the dash, pulled my Haltech out, cut everything. I was like, you cheeky prick.
What do you mean?
So, yeah. Left my windows undone at a holding yard, and just fortunate enough.
In an open holding yard?
So I was fortunate, one of the boys who follows me on Instagram, he was like, "Hey man, I think I've got your car here." And I was like, "Bullshit." Sent me a photo, and I was like, "Oh, that's mine." He goes, "Yeah, cool, we'll try to look after it." So the cops kept going back there, winding the windows and shit down. Yeah.
So where's that at now?
Car's gone.
Yeah, obviously the car's gone, but was there any repercussions towards the lawyers?
Well, I wanted to sue them.
Yeah.
And my lawyer's like, he goes, "Cool, you see, you got a good case." He goes, "How much money you want to waste?"
That's the thing,
and I was like, I don't want to waste any money. I was like, but it's a principle. I would happily fight them just to go, fuck you.
Yeah.
But then I was like, you know what, I'll just cop it on the chin. It is what it is.
So what ended up happening? Just rip off the roof line off a race car, take out the car?
Nah, put it all back in, yeah. Okay. Yeah. And then I was like, all right, cool. So then when we tubbed it, put a big rear end in it, I was like, well, we'll just go full send now. So,
and then got rid of it?
Pretty much, yeah. Not long after that.
So how far up the line was the VE? We'll touch back previous on what
that was my last fast car before the Fox Body.
Yeah, and then rewind the clock right back. So you had the
Mitsubishi.
Yeah, Mitsubishi.
My first ever car was a TX3 Laser, yeah. So cut the springs, put a front bar on it, took the rails out of the seat to put the seat on the ground. I was driving I was sick, bro, you know.
Man, they're fetching money now, aren't they?
I don't know.
TRD Laser from Marty Carmel.
Yeah. So 1.8 Mazda Familia motor, turbo. Yeah, it was sick.
And after that?
I then bought a Safiro, I think, after that, Nissan Safiro. RB20, started drifting. Hammered the 20.
How that went.
Yeah, good, man. I actually quite enjoyed it at the time because I was a bit of a menace on the street, but then it was
like, how old? So you could be 17 to get your license in Queensland?
Yeah, I think back in those times, at 16 and a half, you got your learners, and it was 6 months or whatever you could go for your license. Oh, nice. So I would have been 18 or 19 when I got the Safiro and just terrorised the streets. So every industrial area, every set of lights, I'm trying to drift. And then the 20 got not fast enough, then it was 400 horsepower, went to 500, I was like, fuck, I need a bigger engine. 25, then we blew the 25, put a 25 Neo, T51R, tried to just be fully sick. And
are we talking like HKS T51R?
yes, back in the day.
Whoa.
They're worth a fortune now.
Bro, I bought it just for the sound. I couldn't even spool the thing up, man. It got to like $6,000, I could feel it coming on, and it went straight to limit, and I was like, it doesn't work. So I had to downsize it, but I ended up making 750 through a manual back in the day, which was cool.
Kilowatt?
Jeez.
No, horsepower.
Yeah. Still, that's
you guys like 500 kilowatt.
Hey, you guys talking kilowatts?
Kilowatt, yeah, kilowatt.
Sure.
You know what, I've realised that everyone from above Melbourne talks in horsepower.
Yes, yep.
You know what it is? It depends who you're talking to as well. If you want to make yourself sound good, you say horsepower because it's a bigger number.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I've always just known horsepower. I can't do the conversion. I'm like, fuck, hang on a minute.
When I had the GDR and like older people would ask me how much power to make, oh yeah, made 910 horsepower. Like, fuck. Because if you say made 670 kilowatt, it's like, doesn't sound as good.
But if you get people that are more interested in a racing or whatever, you're like, oh, it just makes 400. They might think 400 horsepower, and you go, oh, really, it's 400 kilowatts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true
it's just all part of sandbagging, I guess.
So
that's like me saying, like, oh, my car's got 600 horsepower, but it's not 600 horsepower. It's technically this kilowatt, but it's the same. Yeah. You know what I mean? Same conversion, but...
So after the laser?
Then it was the Cordia.
Oh, sorry, we were at the Zafiro.
Yeah, so after the Zafiro, then I got out of that. I was done with cars for a bit, man, just because... I had to have a break. It got pretty full on, and then got into a 4-wheel drive, had a Navara, just smashed it up the beach and all the usual stuff you do as a kid, and then I got the bug again, man. So then I bought a Thunder Ute, had a bit of fun in that. Yeah, VE.
Okay. Oh, they do.
Back in the day. Yeah. So it was a black one that was pretty cool, and then I wasn't fast enough, sold that, and then bought a VE, and it was blown, 427, had a Harrop on it, blah, 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 turbo 400. It was cool, and then just wasn't fast enough, so the progression is keep building.
I remember when you were like starting to gain like the publicity on social media with that car and stuff. Like I used to run a Holden page back in the day. I used to run 2 pages. I had a Tirana account, which is still like the most followed Tirana account on Instagram. It's got like 18,000 followers. I just don't use it. I haven't used it for like 2 years.
Jamie's like, that's cute.
Yeah, 100% it is. Well, to be fair, at the time I was 16 years old, so...
Jeez, it gets defensive. It was a joke, bloke.
I'll punch you.
But you know what, but I swear back in those days, like, that bit of following, man, like, that's huge, because I feel like the algorithms are all fucked now. Like,
everything's changed so much, like, dramatically. Like, back then, everything was hashtags and tagging people.
Yeah, but not only that, you wouldn't...
Collabs, scheduling, battling everyone else that's on social media. Doing
you wouldn't have had the same amount of people using social media as well like we do these days.
Yeah, exactly. So the following could have been like 60k now. Like you never know. Yeah. But I remember like I had a page. It was called Holden Street. Like I had. I
remember that, bro.
Yeah. So I'd always like pump everyone.
Some little 12-year-old behind the computer.
I didn't know that, but half of them were, bro. You know what I mean? Because once you got chatting to a few of them, I found out I was like, oh man, I'd be like, bro, come up if you're in Queensland, come out for a night. And they're like, hey, bro, I'm like 7. I'm like, all right, ask your dad.
Well, that's even like Christian Prostreet Drag. He's my age. He's like 20. Actually, I think he's maybe. I'm 21. So
his page is killing it.
Yeah, he's killing it, dude. He's going wild. And he's got a sick core Tina. I love that.
Well, full boost as well. He's big on full boost up.
Yeah, look, it's all over the socials and that, but we don't really have much of it up there.
Yeah. Do you have like a media guy that does much like? Sydney's got like Caddick Media.
Yeah, he's killing it now, man.
He's doing a lot of drag race stuff, live streams.
So Dave Reed up there, On Point Media, like he's been drag racing.
Is he the guy that does drag photos?
Yeah, bro, drag photos. Man, he kills it. And then obviously you got your likes of Michael from. I'm just going to draw my blank. He's always down here doing the test days and stuff. It'll come to me. Michael Zadrowski. And then you got your smaller guys, your Riley Inc. and that just does it for a hobby. But man, there's so many people doing it, eh?
Well, it's like even in Adelaide, you've got I think it's Zoddy Motorsport Media. Then you've got JTK Media.
I just remembered it was Import Media.
Import Media.
Oh yeah, he's one that always films Jamboree.
Yes, brother.
Puts it live.
Yes, he's a good dude, bro.
Yeah, I love his. He does well.
There's a lot of good people in the media field, the drag race and stuff. Once you get to know them.
I feel like you got to sift through a bit of this is my experience. You got to sift through a bit of the bullshit and a lot of people that are all there for the wank, and then the genuine ones that are diehard racers.
And I know firsthand for that as well. So
of course.
Like obviously being in the media field, so and obviously you're gonna have your new up and comers where everything's against you. You just got to get your name out there. Like, I remember being 16, walking around Heathcote like, fuck, this feels weird being here.
Well, you got to earn your stripes, so to speak. You know what I mean?
That's it, earning my stripes. I remember I had no idea what I was doing with my camera, and I was at Holden Nationals Todd's event. Is it Todd's event or was it?
The Foley brothers. Yeah, I think both of them ran it.
Yeah. It was like Holden Nationals 2019 or 2021 or something. It would have been like the first year I've ever had my camera, and I've taken it to drag racing for the first time. I was rad.
Fuck, I feel old, eh? Wow. How old are you, bro?
31.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I turned 18 in 2021, so...
Fuck.
We spoke about this on the last podcast. He was born in 2000, yeah? You're a VY...
2003.
2000 VY Calais.
What generation would that be called?
Young. I'd say like the early 2000s.
Fucking pain in the ass generation.
No, the generation before everything went south. Because I still got burnt CDs.
You got to see the crossover.
I got to see the crossover, Whereas like anything from like 2006 onwards, you didn't see shit.
100%.
Yeah. that's like when the brainwashing and your Gen Z gayness.
The evolution of life just descended. I feel like the phones are what's killed it, eh?
Dude, I wish I could just like get rid of all social media, but I rely on it. It's now.
Your world is on it now. You know what
that's
I mean?
it. That's like there's a time and place where you can just switch it off and just like get away from it. But for like my day-to-day job, like doing like all the articles, connecting with people on socials and like sharing content, what's new trends, people are doing this now, what music, etc., you got to rely on
100%.
And it's not like it was back in the day, like, you know, like Full Boost, like they'll do videos for like, they do all the stuff for Harrop and then they'll do stuff for other companies and this and that. But back then it was like you're talking about like the dial-up days, and you know, it's not like that now. Every man and a dog can start a media brand.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Yep. Anyone's a PT now. Yep. You don't even have to get a PT license anymore. You do online coaching and just tell people, okay, do these exercises twice a week.
You look at half the, no disrespect to the girls that do it, probably you look at half the girls and they sniff a bit of rack in the toilets for 3 weeks, put a tan on, they're like, I'm a bikini influencer. It's like, fuck off out of here. You know what I mean? That's how it is in Gold Coast, I'm telling you.
Well, yeah, but nearly everyone's got OnlyFans page.
Bro, I don't knock the hustle, man. If that's what you want to do, cool, but don't try to sell it to me.
Anyway, before we talk about OnlyFans, we talk about roll racing.
Yes, quickly touching on females.
You're going to ask
Paris
the question?
Hilton or Kim Kardashian?
Or in what aspect?
You have to sleep with them.
Can we do both at the same time?
No, you have to do one or the other.
Okay, the real question. All right, do you like free GTRs?
Hang on. No, I've got to hear which one first. No, I've got to hear which one.
Oh, look, man, that's a hard one because I think they've both got no brain between their ears. But
oh my God.
Well, if
it was just wham bam, thank you, ma'am, I'd probably say Kim Kardashian.
Yes.
But if you had to talk to it, I'd probably say none of them, man.
But we went with Kim K. All right, the second question.
Yeah.
R32 GDR or R33 GDR?
32 all day. In my opinion, that's the pinnacle.
Mate. He's the man.
That's the pinnacle.
He knows. Yeah.
Like, that's the Godzilla. That is the top.
Yeah,
you know?
He knows.
You can't go past the 32 GDR, but I have a soft spot for 33s. Look, I like all cars.
I think the 33s are the most ugliest car. I'd have a 31 before I had a 33.
But they're a nice car. But yeah.
It's got RB30 in it,
The four-wheel drive technology that they had in a car from back then, man, it's still relevant today. That Altezza system is fucking incredible.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, we're not fortunate enough in Melbourne to have the scene of roll racing and the weather, the roll racing and stuff like that. I was actually fortunate enough to go roll racing in Willowbank when I was in Queensland.
Yeah, nice.
I also experienced it at Sydney as well.
Sydney would be awesome to experience.
Sydney is next level.
Even Perth's taking off here.
We had the weekend just gone, the craziest roll racing ever at Queensland Race on the weekend. The staff there have turned it right on and had the boys from B2R came up as well. So I
did see that.
Romanos was down there.
Romanos, Bill, and then I'm not sure the other guy's name, but in the B2R R34 number plate. So the other blue one, man, they're gentlemen.
Yeah.
And diehard racers, bro, they fucking love it. So got to have a good bit of a chat with them while they were racing or before they were racing, and they love it, man.
So it's pretty big, obviously, in Queensland.
It's huge, man. So now that we've done the thing where we're trying to get some of the Sydney guys to come up, the only shit thing that just...
State of origin, like how they do it,
Yeah, their track is so much better because it's wider and longer. The better thing about our track is we get to do a burnout. So...
really? You get to do a burnout before you do roll?
They do a burnout on the other side and then they drive around and come around.
So even Romanos was saying that how surprised he was that the rear-wheel drive cars were doing as well as what they were against some of them. So one of the boys, Mark Wise, has got a 33 with an LS.
See, they can do that in Sydney because they got the burnout pad there and they roll on from the burnout pad.
Yeah, but no skids though. Yeah, so they won't allow.
I feel like if they utilise that burnout strip they've got at the end before they roll on, let that be a designated safe spot, it would lead to a lot more better passes.
I think safer passes. The only crazy thing there would be people get a bit carried away with their burnouts down there. I feel the Sydney Power Crews and stuff. You watch them.
Welcome to
I didn't want to call out anyone's name. Brother, he'll do a whole straight. He didn't care. He's the wildest driver.
Man, I watched him at Jambo. Power. He was in the VL.
Yep.
He launched this thing after doing a quarter mile of a burnout. He launched this thing. Nearly ended up in the other lane and did not lift one bit.
Yeah, that's him, bro. That's
did not lift one bit.
Full send.
But I feel like a car like that you can't lift, you know what I mean? You just have to commit to I've never driven it, but to looking at it, it looks like you couldn't lift.
Still, you have to be an absolute nutcase
100%.
to be facing the fucking wall and not lift.
Yeah, TPS says wide open. 100%.
It's human nature.
But I guess...
just stay in it.
Yeah.
I roll out of my fucking driveway and I lift.
Well, bro, it's so funny because the first time I ever let go of the button at the drags is... I let off the throttle and then the boy's like, mate, keep your fucking foot down. And I was like, mate, I did. they're like, look at the data, they're like, mate, you lifted. I'm like, no. Anyway, next one. And just the G forces, when it whacks you, your natural reaction is to let off the throttle.
Well, we're having that problem with Paulie.
Oh.
Yes. Yep.
There you go.
So a mate of mine's got a EL. It's gone at 840 at the moment.
Yep.
And at the start,
craziest wheels up pass I've ever seen.
Yeah.
He shit himself.
As you
Dude,
would.
he came through the ticket box after. He was wide as a ghost.
Yeah, nice.
But that was a problem he was having as well.
Yep.
We said he was lifting. We looked at the data and he was lifting. But it's like what he said. He said the exact same thing.
Yep.
He turned around to me and said, "Why don't you fucking go do it and say, hey, how much
Once
you
you
lift?"
condition yourself to it, you know.
Yep.
And now, man, as soon as I click that button, I'm putting my foot through the floor and I will not lift until I cross that line. Like,
well, the other thing is as well, you'd know more than me, obviously, with your experience in drag racing. Obviously, on a 275 radial on a sticky track, if you lift while the car's sided, it's going to shoot you in that direction.
Well, I mean, yeah, sort depending on how crossed up you are, obviously, but you got to understand the car. Like if you're proper out of shape, everything happens so quickly. So you got to know, all right, am I pedaling this? Am I trying to steer it? What am I trying to do? But generally, depending if you're out of shape that bad halfway down the pass, you get that shootout. But man, everything happens so quickly, but everything slows down at the same time. So if it's starting to get out of shape, man, don't fucking be a hero. There's always another pass. Just get off it. Roll off it.
So back to the roller racing. Do you compete in it a lot?
I don't. I go out and watch. I shoot a lot of my YouTube stuff out there now. The staff are quite fortunate, or I'm quite fortunate enough to let me out there, and I get to have a chat with the drivers and bring like a behind the scenes stuff to it as well. I think I've got a bit of respect with the drivers because I do a bit of racing.
And people can catch that on your YouTube channel?
Yeah. So Streets Anonymous is where I do all that at. So
a little plug to Streets Anonymous.
Streets, get on there. Don't give it a like and a subscription.
Yeah, and then Jamie Prodigy on Instagram as well if you're not following. And NOTSORY Foxbody, which is spelled with only one R.
One R, yep. One R.
Is that because Queensland you can do 7 letters?
7 letters, yeah. And I can't spell properly. So I have people come up to me, I just put them on the daily and people come up to me and go, that's not spelt right. I'm like, yeah, mate, thanks for that. Yep, cheers. Fuckheads.
That's the story of my life.
Can't spell.
Dude, like you'll do a post, I'm going to just fucking full sandbag my missus on this one. She's like, this post spelt wrong. I'm like, that was AF.
Yeah, I do it all the time, bro.
Jesse will call me, he's like, hey man, I don't want to tell you what to do, but you spelled this and this wrong. I'm like, nah, thanks man.
Brother,
I'll just go in and edit it and not tell you.
Chat GTP, put it through that, brother.
Chat GTP.
Yeah, so get AI to do it for you.
Yeah. Just talk to the phone.
Yeah. So you just have your post and send it through that. It'll do it all for you.
If there's like a little change I'll make, I'll just go quickly edit the post. Done. But Anth runs all the socials on Prostreet Talk. Like he'll chop up the reels, screen record it, make it all happen. And I'll do all the back end stuff. Like I've got the camera equipment. I'll film. Like we've all gone into making all the equipment possible.
How come you got the person behind the camera with no clothes on? We got clothes on.
I don't know. It's good for you. I like the HRT side.
That's Jeffrey. Yeah. Anyway, if you haven't met Jeffrey.
Yeah. Man, we should have got like the stick behind it or something.
Geez, now I've lost track of her. We're too busy looking at Jeff.
Yeah, quickly, touching on Queensland Raceway and stuff like that, one thing you do at Queensland Raceway is the Prodigy track days. Yeah. Go into depth with that because I'd love to come. I actually want to try and make it up in June and escape this shit.
By all means, man, you're more than welcome to come up. So I basically started that back in the day. I did one, I couldn't even tell. I'm really bad with time, but I basically was trying to get everyone off the street because all the guys that love the street and then you'll have the guys that don't love the street. Yeah. So I wanted to get all those guys together and in a fun environment where we can all throw down and just have a good time. So then I just did one and people were like, mate, this is fucking crazy. This is so cool. So
what do you go on? Do you just do hot laps? Do you do gigs?
So basically like a cruise session and then there's a power session, or the Prodigy power session I call it. So that's, you can cut sick.
Yeah,
like, just drift, fuck, whatever.
So it's kind of like a power cruise.
It's like power cruise. Yeah. It's pretty much a carbon copy of that, let's call it. But it's only invite only. So you have to make minimum 700 horsepower or have a 10-second time slip.
And what numbers have you been
it's only 10 flat and faster?
Anything with a 10 ender, brother.
Okay, there you go.
It can't be like 17.10 or you know what I mean? It has to be 10.
Sorry, Jesse, maybe next time.
Yeah, I know. Look, we'll get there. When I get rid of this little BAE Mark 1 turbo and go for like a Pro Charge 35 series, maybe I'll get into the
Brother, the thing is, you're a young man, so don't rush. Enjoy life, bro.
Dude, I'm a P-plater. I shouldn't be doing this.
Hey. But yeah,
I don't drive the car technically.
No, of course.
It's only driven in Mexico by my dad.
On closed roads.
On closed roads.
So yeah, I just wanted to do that just basically to get people together, man. And it was basically just all the boys having a good time. And then it got to the point where I was like, oh man, this is cool. Everyone's like, man, when are you doing another one? When are you doing another one? I'm like, fuck, I might actually start doing these a few more. Yeah. So I don't do it to make money, man. I do it just to get everyone together.
Yeah.
I think 7 is the next one. Okay. I think so.
And what numbers are we talking about? How many cars?
I try to cap the cars at 50.
Yep. So. And you have no problem with doing that?
Oh, no, man. Like, I'm knocking people back, which is bad because I feel bad because I tell people they got to apply, and I feel terrible because people are like, oh, man, why are you not let my Commodore in? And I'm like, well, it's cool, but it's not the caliber we're after.
Faster cars.
Yeah, so it has to be 700 horsepower.
Is there ever a thought of maybe having, say, something on the side that would allow those other people to...
I just don't have the time, bro.
Yeah.
I would love to just let everyone come out, but the problem is, and no disrespect to the other events, but when you go out to some of these events and you got... mange, fucking single leg spinning things, flicking rocks at you when you've got a fucking $500,000 Lambo or whatever. You don't want that. You know? And it becomes unsafe when you're doing 250 mile an hour.
On that, what was your opinion of Summer Nats? Because
that was my first time, bro.
A lot of mixed reactions have come from that.
Man, so I like the
uterus.
Queensland, bro. So yeah, like I went down there. We got on the piss and had a crazy time, which was cool. But the car event itself is cool. But the nightlife stuff, man, way better.
Nightlife is fun as up there, man.
Canberra's nothing if someone else wasn't there.
I wish I got to experience the nightlife more. I didn't go out cruising that much at the nightlife this year. I just kind of took it easy.
Yeah. Brother, you put on that car event.
Yeah, I did the car event. That was about it. Yeah. Like, I went for a little cruise here and there for a couple of boys, but I didn't get wild. The most cop interaction I had while I was in Canberra was when I went to go to Canberra United and the cops decided to block it in. I'm like, dude, I was just trying to fill up 2 jerry cans in my tank, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, because we went out that night to do some racing and they blocked that whole highway, or that servo.
Oh, I didn't know that was going on. Fuck.
No, that wasn't going on. Nah, yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was. Yeah, sorry.
I was in the wrong state. Yeah, I should have jumped the border.
Yeah, that's right. I got my dates mixed up. I was in another country then, but so they turned up and shut that down.
Yeah. Well, that's like out in Whoop Whoop in Mexico, like, I don't know, what do you want to call it, Los Santos or whatever it is, where everyone's out in the bush and cutting sets and stuff.
Yeah.
So how is it in Queensland? Is the, in Mexico, is...
It's loose, bro.
Yeah.
I think it's closed down, quieting down a little bit now. There's certain highways that are getting smacked to pieces every night, and no disrespect to the P-platers, but... they're ruining it, man. You get all these snap, crackle, fart, tune-up people, and they're fucking weaving in and out of traffic.
Dubs, like,
I get it. That's your thing. Like, they're the cool cars at the moment.
But they don't know about the big boy shit.
And they don't respect the road. So there's truck drivers or there's grandmas on the road at fucking 7 o'clock at night, and they're trying to race in between cars. Like, if we're doing it. Fuck.
12 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock.
On private roads, of course, but like there's no one around. You know, I mean, it's calculated risk, like the speeds we're doing. But fucking, if something goes wrong, we're dead. We don't want anyone else around. You know.
Yeah, so exactly.
Like we choose to do it. At risk. Exactly. So everyone knows what's going on, and everyone has that in the back of their head. Like if something goes wrong, all right, cool.
That's it.
We're taking that risk, but at the end of the day, like we don't want
that risk you gotta be prepared to have.
100%. So. You see those, like if a car's coming up behind you, you're not moving because they're already planning, they're anticipating. But if there's little Colleen in a Camry and she sees 6 cars coming, she's weaving. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's where an accident happens. 100%.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
you gotta be aware of your surroundings.
100%. Stay in your lane.
I think it's slowed down a bit even in the Vic street scene. You could say as well.
I've come down
I
here.
wouldn't even have a clue.
I've come down here and done some nights, bro. And man, there's some cool cars down here,
in Mexico.
Some big cars.
We are in Mexico, just to clarify.
Yeah, we're filming this podcast in Mexico, not Carolina Springs.
Hola.
Hola.
This is tequila too. That's a senorita behind us.
Oh god.
In front of us, behind us, whatever.
So so how was Summer Nats? Yeah, your first.
It was good, bro. I liked it. It just from the moment we got there, got the hire car, we drove down all the boys, man. We're just sending it. Yeah. So it actually took me probably 2 weeks to recover.
There you go. Yeah. And then made you do 75 hard.
I had to, bro. I had to cleanse my soul.
Yeah, it's just like
that's why I'm on the water, bro. Is I've got to drink 4 litres of water a day. So
had a bit of too much Mexican in Mexico, I think.
Brother, part of me died, and then part of me
burgers and power skids.
Yeah, well, man,
maybe we might do some burgers and power skids in Caroline Springs after this.
I'll get the rental car out for sure.
God. EV power.
But so that car park was where the uterus come out. Like one of the boys from Queensland got kicked out, obviously within the first hour, and then he basically said, "What's going on?" And he just loves it. He loves the skid.
He's just loose,
literally, and can drive. Yeah, literally every freeway.
Look, it wasn't probably the best look for me. I gapped it out of there after that. I was just like, well, look, that was sick, but that shit for me.
So what happened for people that weren't there, like myself?
I'll send you the video. He'll post it up. He was probably one of the biggest burnouts I've ever seen.
At your meetings at some
correct.
Yeah.
I'll show you after
Mexico,
this.
ACT.
Yeah.
We'll post it up for the people.
Yeah. No, he doesn't care.
We'll put up a screenshot. You know what? No, we won't name the ute, but if you know the ute.
He doesn't care, bro. He said.
Don't care.
Yeah. I messaged him and said, brother, like, that was a sick skid. He's like, do what you want with it. So I've chucked it up on my YouTube. And
yeah, but he had his plate on the back, so...
We can blur it out for him.
Yep, he don't care.
Look, if you know, you know. You can definitely find it everywhere.
When you've got the tough arm out the window and you're doing that up the street.
Yeah, you don't, no fucks given.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it, man. The cars are cool. It's just, I don't really like that tough street thing, man. Like, I had a bit of a Barney with a couple of kids. You know, there's 50 million cars there. They're slapping against the wall and they're like, you're fucking scared. You're fucking shit. Can't do you fucking... And I was like, brother, like, calm down. Like, there's 2 meters between this car and that car. You expect him to do a burnout. Oh, he's fucking shit. And I was like, where's your car? And they're like, we don't have one.
That's the biggest thing.
Like, shut the fuck up then.
Yeah.
Like those little essays, you know what I mean? I couldn't stand it, bro. So I was like, I had to get out of there.
No, that's
how many days did you ask?
So we went back every day, but obviously I'd had a few sauces, man, so the brain wasn't thinking straight. So I was like, if I stay here, I'm going to end up getting in a bit of a Barney. So I was like, fuck it, back to the house. Couple more.
Is there anything that you would take from Summer Nats and add it to the Prodigy meets that you do? No. Nothing.
No. Not disrespect to the event. I think it's sick, man.
Well, they're 2 different events.
That's correct.
But
that's
I love the cars, bro. The quality that comes down, but yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Would you take anything from Power Cruise and put it at Summer Nats? 2 different events.
Yeah, you could actually.
Power skids down Main Street.
That would be sick. I love the event.
Power skid competitions on Main Street. Move the barriers out of the way.
At Braddington or whatever it is.
Temp fencing all the way down Main Street. Let's see who can do the biggest power skid.
I could have sworn back in the day that probably would have happened. The street racing, the dig racing.
And that's what they've been in talks for ages. ACT's got no real motorplex facility for
it's like Melbourne.
Stuff.
Yeah, it's home of the politicians
Melbourne,
and the pedos.
There's no government funding. I mean, same thing with ACT. They got Epic, but when's that used? Once a year?
I think so. ACT and Melbourne. I think we are the only 2 states that actually don't have a government funded track.
Really?
Even Hobart's got something.
Queensland, we don't, do we? I don't think
Queensland Raceway's government funded.
I don't know if they might get a little bit of government funding, but I'm pretty sure it's privately owned.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
They got a government grant. I know that.
Sydney Raceway, obviously. The Bend.
The Bend.
Perth Motor Complex.
Yep.
There's probably nothing in Darwin.
No,
Darwin.
Leaving.
Sorry, Northern Territory, Darwin.
Where's Redson and that's held?
Yeah, that's
like in the street, isn't it? When they go up and down the street, it's probably just like their showgrounds.
No, they've actually got a drag strip and a burnout pad there. So
that's the main centre of town. I'm pretty sure from the post office to the pub. I think.
Yeah, it's 1/8. Yeah.
You got to lock up all the cars after 9 o'clock.
Literally.
Yeah.
The U-turn area is the burnout pad.
Yeah.
The roundabouts,
return road. Yeah. Pack your shoots.
So what's next for you?
Well, I've got Kenda coming up soon, February 20. So we'll test Thursday, Friday, race on Saturday, and then.
And that's at Sydney or Queensland?
That's Queensland Raceway. Yeah.
Nice.
So unfortunately, we haven't got a New South Wales Kenda round just because the pricing I think there's too crazy for what they want. So. Yeah. We'll try to come down and do some test days down here because the track's just the best. The prep's better. Everyone doesn't turn their cars down there. They turn their cars up. So that's the problem we have is trying to race the track, which is cool if you're trying to race someone. But if you want to try and run a number, which I'm still trying to do, that's what I want to do.
So what is the actual number?
I want to crack a 3, bro, in the 8th.
Yeah. So, what about quarter mile?
Look, I've always said I want to do a 6. This engine should piss in a 6.
But in saying that, I think people who actually understand a lot about drag racing, you could actually predict the number. Once you do your 1/8 pass, you could know exactly what it would run back. Yeah.
So a 390 or 399 pass, which would be the goal. I don't care if it's 399, whatever. Man, out the back there, that's mid-5s. I'm sorry, mid-6s, like a 650.
Because technically you're killing the car for the rest of the pass.
Oh, man, it's hard. Full throttle, it's a lot of stress, 100%.
Yeah, and we'll quickly touch on Queensland cars. I'll mention 2 of my favourite Queensland cars, right off the bat. Other than your Fox Body. So we've got Richie, the Nova.
Bro. He's putting that on a radial tyre and coming out, man. So
275 as well?
No, he's going 315.
Yep.
So Aaron Gregory's going to steer that just because Richie's got no time at the moment. So I was down there at the shop looking at that. It was a good car.
That's a sick car. Also on a Haltech with the UC10.
Nexus, everything.
It was actually a bit of a promo car once it was first finished and now actually doing the testing and stuff.
Went a 420 off the trailer. So, on a big slick.
That's sick.
Yeah.
But I grew up watching Murder Nova. I was watching Street Outlaws when it first came out. And I was a young pup back then,
And what's your second Queensland car?
You know what I actually rate? And people will think, that's blasphemy, you shouldn't do that, Is it Headache that's got the Alice Turbo RX3?
Headache.
Is that the plate? Headache. It's like the yellow patinaed one and it's got an Alice Turbo in it?
Nah, Tetanus. Headache is Aki's one.
Okay,
yeah, that's road 20B rotor, but Tetanus.
So
his brother's now got the identical one. It's green.
Okay, there you go.
So basically identical car.
Well, that's like spot on. I've got an RX-8 with a blown LS.
Yeah, Brent Singh, man, he pumps a skid everywhere in that. Where you see it at the track, he'll do the same thing in Browns Plains.
Oh, man.
KFC drive-through, you name it, brother, he cops it. Sets the lights, you name it, he loves it.
What a legend.
Yeah, loves it.
Hey, do you want to touch on a Mexico story? If you don't want to say it, we'll cut it out.
Oh, man, there's too many.
There's a good one. What about the chopper?
Well, yeah, that was a goodie. Yeah, so that was a recent night out, actually.
We could technically, we're talking about one of two choppers here in this one, two helicopters in this story.
Fuck, there's been a few, man. I'm not sure which one.
The flying helicopter to work bloke.
Oh, yeah, so that was the one I was thinking. Yeah. So,
get on this. Man, I love this.
Yeah, so obviously, we went out one night and obviously through the chat, whatever, yada, yada, yada. The federales were out and basically it said, look, probably not advisable that there's a federale up in the sky. Anyway, so put the text out. Sure enough, within 5 seconds of that text gun, maybe 30 seconds tops, 5 lanes, pulled right up, slowed up, and then bang, let go of the buttons. Everyone's gone. Sure enough, in that time, that helicopter, we've watched it go from above us about 500 metres away to probably 50 metres above our heads. We're looking out the window, looking at the driver. He's looking down at us.
He's keeping up with you.
Brother, easy. Anyway.
Just like, come on, do another one.
Yeah, so he would have had the best seat in the house for the video footage. Anyway, they've all taken off.
That would have been sick. Oh, like Fast and Furious, can I get a copy of that?
Yeah. So, yeah, obviously some of the cars then went their own way. One car got pulled over, obviously got, in a bit of trouble. And, basically got the car impounded. So, not a bad thing for him. He's got a couple other cars, but doesn't affect his car license.
It does.
Does affect his car license.
Car, marine, and bike license.
But then said it's okay. He goes, well, I'll just take the helicopter to work now.
So he's got an actual helicopter?
Yeah.
Yes, he flies his helicopter to and from work because they can't take his helicopter license.
Brother, it was quite fun.
He might come to a pool with you with the federale up in the air.
That's what we say. Like,
do a helicopter race.
we have a joke about it, like, brother, get up in the sky, man, and start swatting motherfuckers out of the way.
Why doesn't he film you?
Well, I mean, it's all good to talk about it.
The helicopter with the gimbal.
We'll get Jesse out with the harness.
Imagine it. Someone with a 50 cal but like a camera, like fucking Channel 9. But yeah, so we always chat about it, have a bit of a laugh, but it just never happens. So it's probably safe that it doesn't. I don't think you can fly them at night, helicopters. Especially on big highways, if they're not.
I don't know.
There'll be restrictions.
Maybe only restrictions for the coppers.
You have to ask your mate that's got a helicopter.
Yeah. You don't ask me because I don't fucking know. But I'm pretty sure there is because I went for a fly out one night or one afternoon and the sun was coming down and he mentioned something about it. So
okay, there you go. So
we're not privileged enough to have people with helicopters.
No.
Might have to come up to Queensland.
You boys are welcome anytime, man. You just let us know. We'll organise something so you can.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Like Prodigy Track Day in June, that's open to all spectators.
100%. So $20 at the gate, man. That's all day long. So there'll be music. There'll be, everyone having a good time.
Family friendly.
It's family friendly. Yeah. So I'm trying to organise it so it's on a Friday all day, but it's not just for the diehard racers. You know what I mean? It's for kids that can have a good time. There's food and stuff, and I'm going to have trade stalls and stuff up there to promote everyone who's coming or entered. They can promote their business and stuff.
Have you got dates locked in for that?
Yep. So the 13th of June. So the same weekend as Winter Nationals.
Yep.
And then October 10.
Well, Winter Nationals is a 4-day event.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So ours is just on the Friday.
Oh, well, it's literally next door to each other. So.
Literally, yeah, 50 metres.
But yeah, good excuse to escape the Melbourne cold winter. So
Mate,
I'm keen. So I'm going to start booking flights now.
Done. Book it now. It'll be cheap. So
yeah, exactly.
Yep.
If I can get something for $200 with return, I'm laughing.
Easy, brother. Easy.
Laughing.
What's your what's your favourite Sydney cars?
Oh, too many, man. I'm one of these guys. I'm a bit of a sucker. I appreciate most cars, but
top 3.
I love a GDR, man, in Sydney just because GDRs are fast. You know
you got your rotaries.
I'm not a massive rotary fan just because I've had headaches with them at Jamboree, man. Like every fucking second rotary's putting oil down the track and then you sit in the car cooking. You cook in the car, man. You got your fucking hat on, your race suit on, you're just like fucking rotaries. But I respect them as well, but just not my jam.
Yeah, that's
look, anything Lambo, anything GDR, anything fast, man.
Yeah.
And Melbourne cars, you don't have any specific ones?
There's a few toughies, man. I love Pazzo's Foxbody. Mr. Cube. So I went and watched.
You like Mr. Cube,
brother, so I watched a night on TV in Mexico, and the thing was picking wheels up, man. I was like, this is the most badass thing I've seen.
That car's been around since I reckon I was like 12 years old.
Well, I remember seeing it in magazines, man. And I was looking at it, and going, fuck, this is sick. And then when I saw it in real life down at St Kilda one night, I was like, because I came down here for a night out, and fucking brother, we were driving around, I saw it, and I was like, that's the car from the.
Did you hear from like 1 kilometre?
Nah, so it was parked at the time.
Oh, it was parked.
Yeah.
Can you do that again?
When you hear bloody...
That's what it actually sounds like.
Like when you hear Scorpo coming, like from a kilometre away, all you hear is...
Yeah. That's sick.
Yeah.
That's going to get cut up on a reel.
Valves and stuff, yeah, so it sounds sick.
Yeah.
Man, it's such an iconic car.
And he still races it a lot.
100%. Big block.
On the track, I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, he goes Heathgate, King of the Street. Yeah. Speaking of King of the Street,
they got an event coming up soon?
They've got an event March 1st.
Yeah, I'm going to come down for that, That's going to be badass.
They're pumping the socials with promotion. So hopefully this episode comes out before March 1st, which hopefully, we want to do XL Garage. By the time we're recording this, I want to post that in the week, so around end of January or start of February.
Yep.
And I want to post this one maybe end of February. So,
cool.
And then we've got a couple other guests we've been trying to tee up, so hopefully we can lock them in. And like we said, once a month if we can do it.
Why not?
But
definitely. King of the Street will be a good event. So
it is 2-day event. It's test and tune on the Friday, main event on the Saturday. So if you can get down there for even the test and tune,
I'm definitely going to come down and watch it for sure.
Because it's a general thing that happens at night in the test and tune. Lance, the owner of the track down at Heathcote.
Armstrong?
No. What's his surname?
Not Lance Armstrong, Lance Warren.
Lance Warren.
That's right. Yeah,
he's got what is it? Starlink. That's close enough to NASA.
Yeah.
He's got the 2 GTRs. As well.
35.
Yeah, 2 35s. Yeah. He's got the race car and the daily, and they're pretty much as quick as each other. Pretty much. But he pushes the time out as far as he can. And we were there one night in the test and tune, and just the weather was perfect. And it was just PB.
There's no noise restriction or time limit out there.
Yeah, well, there's a house. Well, recently we could talk about it. They actually closed the burnout pad down because some old hag down the road decided to complain. So
and give him an EPA notice.
Yeah, but it's all been lifted now.
If you build near a racetrack, you deserve to have race car.
And Heathcote's been around for ages. It's not like it's just been a paddock for fucking,
Well, we've got the same issue with Sandown Raceway.
Sure. What's the go with that? Is that still
There's
happening?
like EPA limits, like your car can only be certain decibels.
Yeah.
Like you might go out with a brand new 911 GT3 RS or something. You'll hit the main straight and they go, nah, you're fucking out. You can't.
Well, I actually went and watched the V8 Supercars there last year, and there was a couple of safety cars that come out and they pushed the race, obviously, past its time when it was supposed to. They actually had to cut the race short.
Oh my God.
What?
To meet the time limit.
And that's what's wrong with this world, bro. Too many fucking Karens. If you're going to build a house near a racetrack or move near a racetrack, put up with the noise or be a car enthusiast or fuck off.
Yeah, what are you complaining for?
Exactly.
Even, like they do obviously test days at Sandown, My mate races Formula Ford. He's going into his first state championship this year. His name's Jack Panacchia. So he's sponsored by a bloke named Dale Patterson. He does bulk LS stuff, Like he's massive name in the LS community in Melbourne. And like he wants to test the car at Sandown because the first round's at Sandown Valentine's Day weekend, so February 14th,
That's
15th,
romantic.
16th. Yeah, I know, how nice. I'm going to take my missus out for dinner and go tell her,
hey babe, we're going for a drive.
We're going to Sandown. I was like, what the fuck are we doing here? I was like, we'll go meet in Wineco first and we'll go there.
Bro, put a cut lunch in there, put a picnic blanket in there.
That's it.
There's actually there's a nice little grass there.
Perfect. Propose.
Just go sit on the horse track and watch the cars go around. But yeah, like he can't even test his car at the track he's racing at first round because they won't let him because of the decibel.
And that's what's wrong with the world, bro.
So from an outsider now, in the looking into the Melbourne scene, is there anything you want to see in particular? You want to go do the old chap laps if you even know what that is?
Oh, I've actually done them a few times.
You
man. It was pretty wild.
Yep.
I actually wouldn't mind because I've got the EV. I might head down there. Are they big tonight or nah?
Yeah, Friday night. Yeah,
I've watched
Friday nights. It might be.
Yep.
Calder's on, so plenty of people always after Calder. They'll go for like.
So I've watched some reels. There's a guy who's always in blue. That's
Steve
always. I love his shit, man. So I'll follow some of his stuff and I'll see him doing it. I'm like, fuck, I'll go down and check that out.
Well, he actually can't. Is that subpoena?
I don't know what's going on with that subpoena. He got subpoenaed by the council and the police.
For revving people up.
Oh, bro, there was people doing breakies galore there. Chapel Street turned into Skid Row.
The world needs more of him, bro. Simple.
Oh, dude. It was cooked because he's not even like a real car enthusiast. He just like sort of like the car stuff.
He just G's people up.
Yeah. But if you're willing to be G'd up to do it, fuck, it's on you.
Dude, he's like evolved into like the car stuff now because of the TikToks and that. Like, he went nuts.
I love watching some of his shit, man. Just risen people and
like like Pazzo been in the VL.
Yeah, I've seen that.
It's just like, bro, I'm absolutely losing my mind.
So I might head there tonight, actually. Fuck it, why not?
And this Pazzo, is he the one that used to own that VL Pazzo 6?
I wouldn't even know.
Him.
Don't know.
So Pazzo is obviously Daniel Nunzianti from Pierce Up. So people call him Pazzo for short.
He's got a bunch of cool Fox bodies now.
Yeah.
His daughter's got a sick one, that red turbo one. Oh, that thing's mad.
And then he's doing another cream one too, which is proper badass as well. So
sick. And speaking of building Fox bodies, we'll quickly touch. You want to build another one yourself?
Do I?
Maybe. I don't know.
No, I'd like to.
Make that your daily driver. Fuck the Ranger off.
Yeah, something. I mean, I'm working on something. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
I'm working on something.
Sick.
So what can we see in the future with Street Anonymous?
Bro, I'm trying to give this. Yeah, Streets Anonymous.
Streets Anonymous.
So like Alcoholics Anonymous, but for street racing. But I'm trying to push that as hard as I can, man. My goal is to try to get that to fund my race car. So I want to be like an Aussie version of Cletus, bro. Like obviously I'm shooting for the moon, but if I can even have enough money to pay for my racing when I go racing, so it's not out of my own pocket, because I'm self-funded, you know what I mean? And to go racing at that level, it's fucking expensive.
Have you looked at getting sponsors on board?
Yeah, I have, but I hate asking people for money, you know what I mean? So I feel like I've got it to a point where I'm asking them for packages, but they're not just handing over cash. So whatever their business is, they'll somehow interact with them, and I'm doing these funnels
There'll be
and stuff.
something in there for them.
100%. So they'll get whatever dollar value they want to put in for a product or whatever it is, they're getting double that back. So I'm referring them business and whatever else. So they can offset it.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah,
I hate asking anyone for a cent, bro.
It's a service for a service.
100%. So I'm doing these things called like business funnels. So everyone who comes in that's on network with, all their emails go into a link, and we all talk to each other and be like, hey, here's a builder. Oh, mate, I need a plumber. Oh, go see Johnny. You know, yada yada. So everyone's getting business, and we all eat at the same table.
Even like you need a race team as well and stuff.
100%. So I just got good mates, man, that come out, and I put on the food and stuff for them, man. But I feel like where we're going, man, I need a full-time race crew. So. Yeah, it's hard.
Nice. So what can we see in the future?
Just sending it, brother. That's all I want to do, yeah. I'm going to keep living life, bro. I'm trying to do everything I can while I'm still young and still fit. If I die tomorrow, man, I'll die a good life, you know what I mean? I'll just live life to the fullest, have good people around me and live
That's it, and it's like even me, like I'm young and I'm still like learning as I go along, like you learn lessons.
You'll never stop learning, bro.
That's it, and you know what, if you're not learning and you're not making mistakes, you're not going in the right direction. Like you're making mistakes actually helps grow you as a person. So
and
it's like,
talk to people that have made the mistakes, bro, so then you can learn off them to not do potentially what they did.
That's it, or like, you know, sometimes you got to learn the hard way, and you know what, it might teach you more lessons than anything else.
100%, so, 100%.
But yeah, that's it. Well, we've reached about almost an hour 20 in our podcast, and just went
feels like 20 minutes.
Finger.
Yeah, that didn't feel like it. Well, thanks for coming down and appreciate it.
It's a pleasure.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you again.
No, thank you.
Thanks for having us,
boys. Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming down to us.
I say the same thing. Hey, mate, thanks for coming down. They're like, mate, you're at my house. I'm like, oh, fuck.
All good. Well,
all good.
Thank you for making time to come down.
Pleasure, boys. Special trip.
Yeah, well, you know what? You weren't actually meant to be here for car-related stuff. You were meant to be here for work, weren't you?
Yeah, so I'll just back the car up now and you put that Hemi in it? Is that...
Yeah.
I'll get the engine crane for you.
It's on camera, bro. I appreciate it, boys. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Jamie, take it easy.
Thank you.
We're going to see you at King of the Street, I guess, there.
Chap laps tonight. Let's go.
Chap laps. Burgers and power skids. Let's go.
Done.
Take care, guys. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.